Hey, what's up, guys? David Glenn of theproaudiofiles.com and davidglennrecording.com, home of the free VIP mixed training bundle. If you haven't done so yet, click the link in the description below. It'll take you to my website where you can sign up for the mailing list and gain access to a ton of free stuff, including 2 sets of multi-tracks, a whole slew of impulse responses, a couple video courses, and more. Get you on the list. Tons of free content coming your way. In this video, I'm going to show you how I took these 4 one-shot tambourine samples and turned them into a fitting tambourine loop that took the chorus of this song to the next level. Here's a sample of what they sounded like before. Cool. Pretty straightforward tam sounds. And then I threw some processing on and created this loop that by itself may not be, world-changing here, but in the mix, it sounds really great. So here's this by its... Okay, I didn't have a tambourine nearby. I was feeling creative, so I pulled in these 4 loops, and I'm going to walk you through the processing. So the first thing is I already consolidated this, so shame on me, but these, let's focus in on this first hit here, because I did the same thing for the first 2 tambourine one-shots. This selection right here and the next selection, those 2 are the exact same hit, except what I did is I broke them apart. They were one-shots, so I put them on the grid, and just treated them differently with clip gain. So for the first one, let's put that back and show you what I did. All I did is I brought that down like 7 or 8 dB. And so that is the exact same thing as that. And it creates a difference in the velocity, kind of a fake velocity, but the dynamic, soft hit, big hit, soft hit, big hit, goes throughout the track. Same thing for this one right here. If I solo, okay, it's the exact same one shot, but it sounds a little bit different because the velocity or the volume is slightly different. And then the same back for this one. Okay, when you shake a tambourine, you're not going to hit it the exact same every time. If you do, probably wouldn't sound that great. So a little bit of human feel to those 2 samples, and then I've got them on the grid. Next up, I want to show you how I took these 2 from sounding like this. Pretty stale, right? To sounding like this. Okay. And if I wasn't lazy, I probably could have gone in and done the same thing with clip gain and created a multi-layered, multi-velocity volume loop out of those. But I wanted those particular tambourines to sit on top of the mix. So in the mix, you don't feel them that stale. Let me actually play the mix here. Okay, it's a little bit low in volume, but if I pull that up a tad, I'm going to start playback with the tambourine in, and then I'm going to mute it and listen to how it just kind of changes the song completely. Put it back in. Crazy how much of a difference that makes. My buddy Graham has a video, I think he did months ago, where he took I think he called it the cheapest improvement you can make to your mix or something like that, where he took a tambourine and showed arranging it in a track and how much of a difference a $20 tambourine can make. It's absolutely awesome. So in this case, I didn't record the tambourine, I created it, but I want to show you quickly the settings for this. The first 2 plugins here on the chain are Alloy 2, stumbling there, and it keeps doing this to me. It goes into like demo mode or something. Yeah, see, and then it fixes itself. Anyways, I'm pulling out attack and I'm pulling out release because it just sounded too fake. So, and I wanted to control that. I didn't want it to be too sustaining, but I did want the level to change. So it's kind of a complementary thing. The devil lock here, where I'm crushing it to keep it on top, but I didn't necessarily like the sustain. I like the level being on top, but not the crunch and sustain that I added. So I added the Alloy 2, where I cut, sustain, and attack. Let me show you the difference between that. Let's just solo these 2 here. Here's without Alloy 2, and then I'll put it back in. And then with it. Okay, I didn't want the attack on these. I wanted the ringing and the movement to come from this Tambourine. The first two Tambourine one-shots are where I'm getting the hit off and letting that be a little bit more human. So, excuse me. The two right here, I wanted them to be less attack and have a little bit less sustain than what the original sample had. The real magic for this comes with a stock delay plugin. I've got the Mod Delay 3 here from Avid, and I've got 27% wet on both sides, and the only thing that I did was put it at a 16th note with a little bit of groove. I threw it to 3%. It changes it quite a bit, more than I thought it would, but mess around with the groove, find a nice sweet spot for that. Again, here's without the delay. You can see the feedback is set to ring pretty good. All right, pretty boring. A little bit of groove. Got a pretty sweet tambourine sound going. And then Alloy 2 on the back end, I still felt like I needed less attack from these, so I did it in stages. I feel like if you go in and just pull the attack way out, it kind of morphs the sound to this weird thing. But if you do it in stages, I find that it works better, kind of like with compression. But anyways, so there's that. And then to get it to sit in the mix, I boosted a little bit of the upper mids and took out a little bit of the sizzle that was happening to help blend it in the track a little bit better. But I'm all over the place. Hopefully you're following and you dig the creative spark that was my one-shot tambourine trick here. Let me select this and bypass everything. Here's it in the mix without the processing. Very cool. I know there's Apple Loops. I know there's tons of sample libraries out there. I actually own a huge percussion sample library, and I was looking for it before I just created this. But hey, this is fun, you know? So get creative, take those one shots, do some cool stuff with it, get your delays rocking, and I hope you pick something up from that. Sorry I rambled and was all over the place a little bit with this one, but we'll catch you soon. Tons more to come from theproaudiofiles.com. Thanks again, guys.